Hey everybody, Travis from mudcreek.com. Today we're going to show you how to install the NAP QuikFletch twister vanes. These are kind of pre-done vanes. They're already on here, as you can see, on these little plastic sleeves. And so it makes it real easy to fletch your arrows. So you don't have to worry about gluing or anything like that. You just deal with a little bit of boiling water, which obviously can get a bit dangerous if you're not careful, but it makes it real easy, and they turn out really good. Let me show you one that I already have done here. This is a yellow or a greenish one. It's green with white, and so that's kind of how they turn out. But I'm going to show you how to do this real quick and give you an idea what goes into this and how easy it is. You know, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to do it. So if you have an arrow, this is an arrow right here, just a basic one with your standard fletchings on it. These, we're going to go to the twister, kind of the quick spin style. These are like the 2-inch vanes. They spin a little faster. A lot of people that I talk to who shoot with these love them. I like them. I think they're more accurate. But you know, a lot of people are going to this now just because they spin quicker. Like you say, they're actually supposed to tighten your group there. I don't know if you can see that down at the bottom. It's supposed to shrink your group down because they spin a little faster and they're just more accurate. So anyway, that's what they look like. Let me just show you how to prep your arrow real quick. I'm going to put this piece of paper down to help catch this. This is kind of the cheap poor man's way. If you have the fletching removal tool to remove the fletching, that's obviously the best approach. But if you don't, you can take a razor blade. I use it in like a knife thing like this. You can just change out the blades there. You can use any kind of razor blade. Got to be a little careful here. I put my thumb kind of on the blade like this and just partly cover up the blade so I don't catch myself. On this side I start like this though, and I just kind of go like this and go slow, and you got to be a little careful. You don't want to dig into the carbon. You just knock them off one by one, and I get the fletchings off. I don't try to get too detailed yet. And now I just start going. I keep it probably a little less, almost like sharpening a knife really, but you can go this way for a while and then I switch it up. But I go down, you can kind of see where the fletching was and the glue. I go down just past that and kind of overlap right here to start out with, and I really just do that. And there's people who probably hate this method and say this is the wrong way to do it because you don't want to create flat spots on your arrows, but for the most part these carbon arrows are pretty tough. If you're not putting too much strength on it, you're going to be fine, especially for a setup like this where you're going to cover it up. So I just go until I kind of quit seeing the white stuff coming off. You know, go all the way up, work your way up. Now one little thing here, I'll have to show you. I did this on one of the arrows. Let me see if I can find it here. One of the arrows, I actually stripped just a little bit. This isn't it, but I actually stripped just a little bit of carbon when I was shaving back this way. Came off the end. So you don't want to get too close to the end there because it kind of split it. So keep that in mind. I don't think it's going to create a problem with this because with these sleeves it'll just cover it up and shrink it tight. So I'm not too worried about it, but keep in mind. So when you get up top there where the glue kind of ends again, you know, you really want to kind of get that overlap and try not to knock your knock off or cut that. And like I said, you can come back this way. You got to be a little careful when you're up top though, because that's where you can catch it. So anyway, you're just going to keep going like that, and you can do this as much and as little as you want, you know, and get it to the best form that you want and really scrape it down. I just keep going until I see white stuff kind of stop coming off. I don't know if you can see that, but you'll catch just little ridges of glue, and that's what I do. So that's how you prep it. Let me get another one here that I've done a little better job on. But so you got it like this, you know, looks pretty clean. Most of the stuff's off. Move this out of the way here. So you got most of the stuff off. One thing you can also do, I just take a wet rag. Once I get that done, because my hand's been rubbing on there, getting some of the oils on there, I just take a wet rag and wipe it down just a little bit like that and dry it. The other thing you can also do, I think it's a good idea, if you have a little score pad just to help knock off the final little bits, you can use that. I don't know if I'd use sandpaper on something like this, but that also just kind of creates a little bit of an edge for it to stick to a little bit better. Cleans it up real nice. Like I said, you want to get those oils off of there. So that's kind of the basic prep here. So I'm going to go up and grab, what you need to do is you just need to boil some water, and then you can put it in a tall glass, or you can put it in, I have mine in an Nalgene bottle. I'll go grab that and bring it down and set it up here. I've already boiled the water. You want to be a little careful, obviously, when you boil water and mess with that. You don't want to spill it on your hands. So I'll be back in just a second and show you how to do that. Okay, so we have our Nalgene bottle here. This is just a bottle filled with some, I just dumped boiling water in it, so you kind of, makes sense just get a hot pad if you can and use that to carry it with if you're moving it. But so I'm going to go ahead and dip this in. You can see the sleeve on there. Just kind of sits flat like that, and so it's not, I mean, they actually kind of will stay in place, so you don't have to necessarily tape them down or anything. They kind of crimp down around it a little bit, so that's kind of a good thing. So I kind of get it about just a little bit off the edge here, because I don't want it right on the edge as it shrinks, so it's not on the knock. But so I just slowly dip it in here. I'll have it so you can kind of see what it does on the inside. And I just go slow, especially on that first part, because I don't want to create any air bubbles. And it shrinks up pretty quick. But if you just kind of go slow, and just lower it down there so those air bubbles don't get caught in there. And you want to make sure you got enough water in there, because you don't want to get part way down there and have it not seal. So I don't know if you can see that, but there we are. And I probably probably should have put just a little bit more water in there, but if you just tip it on the side like that, it seems to do okay. It says leave it in there about 5 seconds. I'm going to leave it in there just a little bit longer, make sure it gets a good seal. Just do that. If you pull it out, there's your finished product right there. So that's all there is to it. You know, it's not too difficult. It looks really clean, and you just set it aside and let it dry for a while. Let me do an orange one. I'll just do one more here. This is the orange right here. So just go slow with that and do the same thing here. Just let it do its thing. Like I said, you want to kind of go slow so that air can escape from the top. If you got to tip it up like that, and if you saw some of those bubbles, some bubbles were popping out as I was doing that. Just let that do its thing. Let's sit there for just a little bit longer. There you have it. You can just check it. You know, it'll be a little hot, but it's not too bad. You can I just run my hand over it, make sure it looks nice and sealed, especially there. The only disadvantage I'd say with these, and I'll see as they dry a little bit, but it does create just a hair of a ridge there. You know, depending on what kind of rest you're using, it's possible it could affect your arrow flight a little bit, but I doubt it. I mean, I think maybe your first couple shots, and then it will kind of just smooth that out. Most of your arrows have some labels on it anyway. These are Carbon Express ones, and you know, they have something there anyway, so I don't think it'll affect too much. But that's basically it, you know, for these QuikFletch twister vanes by NAP. So I highly recommend them. Great way to transition, especially if you already have the bigger vanes and you want to go to something smaller like this for a little bit better shooting. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Come check us out at mudcreek.com. That's MUDDCREEK. Thanks.